He didn't realize the monster had wrecked the pipes, flooding the soundproof room. Meanwhile, the little guy returned, thinking, plumbers work fast. Suddenly hearing a strange noise, he realized the monster was near, his heart racing. Panicking, he bolted like a rabbit but crashed into a tire, ending up fainted in a buffet-like manner. Just then, Xiaomei came back, saw a light in the cornfield, and curiously bent down, unaware a monster had stealthily arrived behind her. Xiaomei was blissfully unaware of the danger, but then came a plot twist. Her hearing aid inadvertently turned into a storytelling device for the monster. Xiaomei narrowly escaped and found her waking brother by the light. They lit a bonfire on the corn cellar roof, patiently awaiting their dad's rescue. At this moment, Owe was focused on the monitor, his gaze sharp like an eagle, but found no kids. Ocean in the soundproof room opened her eyes to the sound of water, thinking, is this a water park? Rose, shocked to see the soundproof room flooded, resembling a water park. The kids had drifted nearby, turning into little water ducks. A monster stealthily entered, swimming like a scuba diver. As he hopped down to save the kids, he saw it in the water too. His heart raced, and he held his breath as if trying to socially distance himself from the underwater monster, slowly backing away. Using deep water to muffle his sounds, the monster seemed to have superpowers, sensing his movements and creeping closer. Xiaomei was planning to escape with her brother. But her brother, excited, wanted to play more, immersed in this daring adventure. In the midst of the quarrel, her brother accidentally fell into the grain silo, making a noise that distracted the monster, inadvertently becoming Mom's guinea pig and saving her life. Fortunately, it was filled with corn, so the little guy was okay. However, he faced a new challenge. The accumulated corn resembled the swamp, ready to swallow him whole, truly a dim-witted corn universe. Xiaomei motioned for her brother to stay still, like waving a white flag, but he ignored it and desperately tried to grab his nearby phone, playing an intense game of tag, yet failing to catch it. While waiting in the water, Xiaomei signaled her brother to stay still, resulting in a game of sloss, but he couldn't see and was trying to grab the nearby flashlight. Just then, a wobbly iron door fell like some UFO game, nearly costing little guy his life. He freaked out and twisted his body everywhere as if fueled by energy drinks, but instead, he fell deeper, creating a crazy twist. Oe watched in horror as the monster was lured, like an action scene. To save her brother, Xiaomei had no choice but to dive in. She pushed the door to rescue her brother but got stuck like in a desperate escape. Seeing his sister sinking in corn, Xiaomei scrambled to help, panicked. After struggling, he grasped his sister's hand and pulled her up with all his strength. Just as they relaxed, the monster jumped down, mutated. Ducked, they used the door as a shield, but the monster broke it easily, a true super strong girl. In crisis, the hearing aid inexplicably worked again. The monster freaked out and darted out of the silo like a rocket, using the broken door. Siblings narrowly escaped and reunited with their dad. Oi turned to find the monster tagging along like an uninvited guest. He shouted for the siblings to rush into the car like a movie escape. He raised his axe, but the monster crow swooped, punching Oi and sending him flying like Superman. In a panic, little guy called for his father but fell under a spell, endangering both him and his sister. When the monster charged, Xiaomei's hearing aid blared again. He didn't know it could save them and turned it off. The unhindered monster zoomed toward them, attacking the siblings inside fiercely. Injured Oi rose. Seeing kids in peril, he abandoned his axe and dedicated to saving them, even sacrificing his life. For the kids' safety, he knew what to do. After signing love, he fearlessly charged with a roar. The rushing monster knocked over Oi. Little guy quickly pulled the truck's brake, sliding home full of adrenaline. This scene was crystal clear to Ojen at the monitor. The three embraced tightly, but the crisis wasn't over. As the monster's roar sounded again, Ojen quickly rushed the two to the basement, while strobe lights flickered continuously. The monstrous intruder stomped forward, echoing a heavy metal Ojen hesitated with the shotgun, thinking, hitting faces doesn't matter much. At this moment, the monster started searching, hissing and making the monitor uncomfortable. The monitor's noise seemed unfriendly to the monster. Seeing this, Xiaomei realized the hearing was amazing. Disturbed by noise, the monster became restless, shaking like a broken washing machine, yet it wasn't enough to kill. Upon hearing the baby cry, it wanted to attack. Xiaomei took off her hearing aid, pressed it on the microphone, starting a new concert. Boosted by the sound, the monster finally couldn't take it anymore and fell to the ground after a struggle. Ojen looked at her daughter in disbelief, thinking, this defies science. But in the next moment, the not-quite-dead monster slowly got back up, like a cockroach that just won't die. Trying to charge back into daughter lost her defense, Ojen quickly shot, obliterating the monster. However, the gunfire drew more monsters, a looming disaster. Watching the monitor, they saw monsters charging. Knowing their weakness, they weren't scared. Instead, they excitedly yelled at each other. They cranked their attack levels to max and turned these monsters into the training dummies. No longer a challenge. It was like target locked, attack in progress. But a careless trigger set bottles off, quickly putting them in life or death mode. They kept pulling the trigger, and it wasn't the end of their running saga. The danger lurked, As the boy triggered another trap, a vicious tiger trap clamped down on his right foot. Faced with immense pain, the mom quickly covered his mouth, like charging ahead, forbidding any sound, while the sister placed the baby in the resting pod. Then mom quickly put on an oxygen mask like a superhero to hush the baby's cries. She then pressed to free her son's foot, but his painful groans were worrisome. However, despite her best efforts, heartbreaking sounds escaped, attracting their worst fear. Fortunately, the girl quickly turned on the radio, as those dog-like monsters were super sensitive to sound. Seizing the opportunity, Mom raised her gun and pulled the trigger, but those pack hunting pups were just waiting for the cue. Shooting one would only bring more talk about shooting oneself in the foot. They sought shelter in an abandoned house, and the nearby sniper acted just in time, otherwise the woman would have lost her cool in seconds. Just 1 second saved her from being dragged away by those dog-like monsters. Under the sniper's cover, they dashed to safety, chased by other dog-like creatures in a crazy chase. Fortunately, obstacles blocked them. The dog-like creatures broke through, leapt onto the ladder, gradually closing in. The safety exit was near. The chat, Big Sis instantly uncovered the sniper's identity. Food and water here are scarce, unable to feed everyone, as if hinting, "Want half pot? Pay your dues first." Therefore, Big Sis had to play the emotional card, showcasing her close friendship with the sniper's husband. The man softened up and said, "You wouldn't want to break my heart, would you?"